We'll now invite our second speaker. Our second speaker is Amitava Bhattacharya, who is the founder and director of Banglanatak.com. Amitava is a social entrepreneur with over 30 years of international expertise and experience, and in 2000 founded the Banglanatak.com, which is focusing on culture and development. One of its key projects is Art for Life, and it is known as a successful case model that contributes to social integration and also to the achievements of the SDGs by using ICH, and this is internationally renowned. Looking at innovation, social enterprise, and development through culture. It's passionate about global peace. We now like to invite Amitava to hear more about the role of the social enterprises in creative transmission and value creation of intangible cultural heritage. Please give him a big round of applause.
Good morning, namaskar. Good afternoon, good evening, wherever in the world you are. Thank you, organizers, for giving me this esteemed platform to speak to the August gathering. The role of the social enterprises in creative transmissions and value creations in intangible cultural heritage. That's the topic that I have been given to talk about. Let me start with 3 reference points. It's like a triangle for me. The CEO of Singapore once said, without culture, a city is a dead city. Hillary Clinton once said, it takes a village to bring up a child. American philosopher Dr. Martha Nussbaum said, you need a pond to develop a village. Now, if we combine all 3, what we get? We need a pond, then the village development, then the culture, and then the future. So pond, village, culture, future, I think are extremely important in ICH-based development, because ICH has the key to provide a solution and play the most effective role in bringing all stakeholders together to work on this. How? Let me share a case study, our 2 decades of work on ICH and development, where we clearly see that if investment is made in people and their community culture, then it helps in strengthening the community engagement, economic improvement, increases the pride, attracts them towards the development process, and of course, safeguards the traditional culture. We have initiated our model Art for Life in 2004-05 with about 3,000 marginalized population who never went to school, who never had any sanitation at home, and who were treated like daily unskilled laborers because their art and culture were seen as passion, not a profession. So Art for Life actually built their capacity, developed a framework of capacity building, followed the Guru Shishwa, that is the master disciple training program to ensure traditions, and then went for different diversifications, keeping the heritage component in mind, because that must be ensured. And then facilitated direct market linkage. There should not be anyone in middle. And third one, did a lot of exchange and collaboration, because that brought the pride back. Now this process, when we were going, we actually developed, but you know, any experiment, when you start developing, it takes time. So we were seeing good results, but we actually got it streamlined through the European Union support in 2009 to 11. And then came all the recognitions, this, that, including UNESCO, UN ECOSOC, even WTO, this, that. And then finally got it adopted by West Bengal government in association with UNESCO New Delhi to develop the Rural Craft and Cultural Hub. Started with 3,000 people, then made it to 15,000, and now it is expected to reach another 50,000. Now that's quite a large number. Now this population gave us the confidence that this model is working. Now what is Art for Life? May I request to please play the video.
High-potential rural artist communities have not developed the business tools to engage markets, resulting in slow death of their unique art forms. Banglanatak.com's Art for Life program, proven in West Bengal, transforms artist communities into thriving micro-enterprises, impacting artist, art form, and district.
9 years after inception of Art for Life, in 2013, the Department of MSME, Government of West Bengal, adopted Art for Life and partnered with UNESCO to develop 10 rural craft hubs benefiting 3,000 rural traditional handicraft artists across 10 districts of West Bengal. The success of the project led to expansion of the initiative to rural craft and cultural hubs involving an additional 12,000 beneficiaries across 15 districts of West Bengal.
26 art form transformations have had 100% success, doubling artists, primarily impacting and empowering women, increasing income 2.5 times, and reducing migrations. Low-income art forms shrunk from 38% to 15%, while high income grew from nothing to 26%. More than 90% of artists now have a bank account. More than half have a new or renovated house. 77% of these with sanitation and 100% electrified. Almost every artist is formally trained on the art form. 30% are digitally aware, and 38% of the next generation are now proud of and involved in the art form. The village is now a hub for international workshops and collaborations, and 6 art forms have geographical indication status. Tourism is now an integral part of the program.
Thank you. Now, it's not the art labors, but the community artists who need to be understood, protected, and promoted, because they hold the key of traditional aspect and knowledge, and they are the backbone to transmit to other, including the next generation, and thus the safeguarding happens by them only. They also need to be encouraged, and an ecosystem needs to be developed to create the grassroots micro-enterprises, which strengthens the creative economy. The important things are empowering the communities with a framework of building capacity, using of IP, GI type of tools, negotiable skills, giving confidence to face the world. I think these are very, very important, along with today in 2021, when we are thinking about 2030 agenda, we can't miss the digital skill. Let them promote themselves, because that's the empowerment story we need to be thought of. That's a very, very important part. See, I worked in Silicon Valley. I always say that, we never went to Silicon Valley. 1992-93, it was not Silicon Valley, it was Bay Area in California, America. When we returned from Silicon Valley. So all of us learned. So it's important that we make people understand that this framework, this training is important for all. Now, we have also seen a very interesting byproducts through this process. Vulnerable migration stops. Villages become clean and hygienic. Cultural villages evolve as cultural tourism destinations. And in this tourism, the artists are at the nucleus of tourism, not a bystander, which is the usual touristic things where we treat, the world treats as if the local community will only work as the laborers. But here they are at the nucleus. They control the tourism. And that's why UNWTO thought it's one of the best model, and we got the global partnership status. Now, this tourism is responsive, ethical, and inclusive. Just a few days back on 27th September, World Tourism Day, and there the theme was tourism as inclusion. Now, include people, that's very important. So this actually works towards that. Now, social enterprises have a huge role here to play. Tourism, even small infrastructure like restaurant and other stuff, handicraft-based business, exports, because they can actually be near the community and they can help them. And definitely festivals, that's very key part. So we may be organizing but one, but how long will we be organizing? We need social enterprises to come forward. So there is a huge role of the social enterprises in creative transmission and value creation in ICH in this way. Interestingly, as per need of the process, way back, a decade back, 2011, we created a World Peace Music Festival so that these rural talented artists can share a platform with the international big ones. We gave the name Sur Jahan. And there, now the festival is big. 10,000 people come every day. It's open to all. And that festival has actually created opportunity for the rural artists to travel across the world. They participated in 75 international festivals so far. So, these are opportunities that get created from the festivals. You pull, and from there, the mingling happens, and they get opportunity. So this is how even a festival can create, because we call about 5-6 international bands. And let me show, and now the festival actually even travels to different parts of India. So I think this is very important that such a festival also, which we created for a particular purpose, can evolve as a headline festival. Let me show you what the festival is all about. Please play the video.
The 10th edition of Sur Jahan is basically celebration of togetherness, presenting a world music shared by all the bands and groups.
Thank you. Now, the reason of showing this music video, because it's important that after they play, it is also important they mingle each other, they perform something together. There was even a Korean band, if you have noticed, Korea, who came last year. That last year means before the corona. So what we get the model is tested and proven. Of course, we want to spread it to the world wherever there is a need. And certainly we need the local partners, can be government or non-government, who will champion this. And we are happy to invite them to come over, see it, get trained. And if need be, we can do a little hand-holding and help in monitoring and quality assurance. In late 2019, Rajasthan, located on the other side of India, about 1700 kilometers away from us, on the western border, adopted this model for its desert artist communities, which unfortunately got stopped after the first year due to the ongoing corona crisis. But interestingly, an evaluation took place in August 2021, and the community said, please start again. Now, why? Because this is probably the first time that their pride rights were really got the first priority. And village, artist, and art were seen together. I think that's very important rather than usual way of appreciating art without investing in artists or villages. I feel ICH is the pond here. Artist, village, and neighborhood is a village. Community is the child. And together it ensures a living world. Thus, my urge to the world is to encourage and build capacity of the social enterprises who can play this role of innovators and ensure a significant contribution to ICH, including in creative transmissions and value creations. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you, friends. We'll be available for the panel discussions.